Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today we are talking about something that is often a very sore spot for a lot of authors, and these are negative reviews. Chances are that independent how good your book is, you will have some negative reviews. There are several basic concepts that can sort of lower the amount or the quantity of negative reviews, and this is targeting. So you need to make sure that your book enters those readers, that niche, that would actually like that genre. Genre specifications is really spot on. It won't always work from the very beginning, because you need to put it in the circulation and see which people actually read it, and you can find out, for example, in Amazon, in the ratings, where your book is under which subgenre, and then you take that in the genre when you set up or when you renew your metadata. The other thing is that you need to make sure that your cover is what your readers want to see when they are hunting for a specific book. I don't think that I am perfect with that aspect. Swift Escape would probably go better if I had, a guy who is top naked with a six-pack. That would probably sell better. But it doesn't resonate with me. So this is how I left it with the Swift Escape. With the Descendants of Earth trilogy, maybe something would be better, but here I think the vision that I had of all three books was just sort of set in stone, and I couldn't change it anymore. Either case, your book cover needs to really open up to your specific niche, to your specific readers. The third thing is the blurb, the summary. So when you write the blurb, it should really resonate with the readers. So if all of that is set, chances are that people who pick up your book when they see it on Amazon or some other retailer, they are the ones who will actually like it, or at least like the genre. But, despite that, you might still actually enter the right sort of niche and have the negative reviews. Another thing that is kind of a rule of thumb is that in an author community is not to respond to negative comments, and I try. No, I just don't respond to negative comments. When I have a positive comments, I always hit a like because I like it. The negative comments, I don't do anything. So on one hand side, one shouldn't really respond to that, and I think that's a good rule. However, there are two aspects that I see come up in my books, or as a review, in the reviews of my books, and I want to touch on that because it made me realize I should sort of position my book differently, or at least have a disclaimer in the summary, in the blurb, saying if you don't like this, this and this, just don't read it. It will save you time, and it will save me pain of getting a bad review. I have to say I don't have so many reviews in general, not yet, and luckily most of my reviews are really good, and I'm really grateful for that. That means that I basically landed in the reader's hands that exactly like that type of the book. However, sometimes you think you landed right, but you didn't. So there are, again, not many, but there are some reviews who comment on the aspect of falling in love at first sight. Some readers don't really believe or trust that love at first sight can happen. So obviously it's very different for different people. I am writing my books, and they are, to a smaller, bigger extent, based on my experience. And the way Dora and Jay fall in love, the way Jane and Sam fall in love, is literally love at first sight. And I can write about it and I can explain it, how it feels, because I've been there, I felt it. When you have this concept, when you see somebody and literally it's thunder, like from one moment to another you're like, oh, wow, and you can barely walk, and it's actually, I mean, I realize all of this is neurotransmitters and reactions and hormones and all that, it's all clear, but I love how the body feels and what it does. So of course, because of that, I introduce it into my books, and very likely most of my books will be love at first sight or very close to that. On the other hand, I know there are people who don't have that, and I don't want to say one is good and one is bad, they're just different people. So I understand if somebody who never had that, thunder thing, cannot resonate with that because they never felt it, right? And I honestly know that I have really good friends who told me that they first need to get to know somebody, they need to really be kind of form a friendship before they actually enter a relationship. So it either way is good, it just depends on how you are and what can you recognize and what can you resonate with. So I feel it's a little bit shame, but on the other hand, I'm thinking maybe I should just do a disclaimer. This book contains love at first sight concept. If you don't believe in it, if it doesn't resonate with you, just don't read it. It would be a waste of time, your time in reading, and obviously it would be bad for me when you leave a bad review, right? So another thing that did come in my reviews, and that's in Descendants of Earth, which was the trilogy, is that the book is not finished. And I apologize, but again, I should maybe do a disclaimer noting this is a book of a trilogy, one book of a trilogy. The first book is not finished story, the second book is not finished story, the third book really finalizes the trilogy. So disclaimer, if you believe only in standalone novels, if you want every book to completely finish, don't read the novel, because this is part of the trilogy. The book will not be completely finished. Every book I try to have a proper plot line so that you could actually read it and from the beginning have the really exciting part and then resolution, but the whole story is a lot bigger, and I can't, and I actually don't want to push it in one book. So the whole story finishes within 3 books. If people actually want to read one book and have everything finished, it's okay, just don't read the trilogy. Anyway, look, it's all right. It's just that it hurts, because I don't think it's quite fair. But again, maybe a little bit of extra notification and saying, hey, you need to read, if you want the whole story, read the standalone novels. Yeah. So that's kind of it. There's one concept that I wanna mention, which actually didn't come in reviews, and nobody put a finger on it. But I'm kind of I kind of still want to explain it, and this is that if I plan a trilogy, so if I know it's going to be spread into more books, I tend to end on a cliffhanger, and I understand this can be hard because you didn't need to wait to see what's going to happen. And I have to be honest and tell you that when I read cliffhangers, I'm like, you know, why did it leave me a cliffhanger? Now I need to wait and I don't know what's going to happen, right? So I on one hand side, I don't like it, but on the other hand, I love writing cliffhangers, and I like when I can do it so that it's really good, so that you really want to know what happens next. And I also know from personal experience, if I see a good cliffhanger, I'm gonna stick around. Although I don't like it, I'm gonna stick around because I want to know what happens. So for all of you who like my books but don't quite like the cliffhangers, my apologies. But trust me that in the end, it's meant to really wrap up in a full story, and I hope it will be worth your while. So I hope that this was helpful, especially for the writers who face some negative reviews, which is almost every writer. Try not to take it too personally. And I know that's difficult because I take it personally, and I try to tell myself, don't take it personally, it's okay, you can't be liked by everybody, it's okay. And I know from some other authors, they usually on every negative review they kind of decide, okay, today I'm going to be sad, okay, I might drink a glass of wine, I might do something for myself, but then tomorrow I'm going to forget about it and I'm going to start over. And it's a good idea in a sense. Well, I don't know about the wine. If you like wine, you can drink wine, but have a concept to decide, okay, this will hit me, but it's going to hit me for a limited time. One day I'll be sad, but then I'll go on. And it's important because, you know, the books, the stories need to go on, and you need to engage again in your story with same enthusiasm. And to be quite honest, bad reviews do hinder that quite a lot. Anyway, I hope that was useful. Thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!